Shit, we might be able to do that right now. I'm recording. You hit record? You can hear that. If we get into a topic that, because like you said, with you there,
first couple times if she want to speak, we have already tried. She can speak for herself. That might, you should see this just doing.
Testing 1 2 3, microphone check 1 2. What is this?
You already know what it is. You already know who it is.
Dale Baby defense back in the house, without a doubt. With a game, man. What y'all talking about today, man? What we on these days? Let's get right to it and through it.
We got a what's the name?
Nah, ain't no holding on, man. We all in. You on some still mag shit like, nah, Cornwell. Hold on.
You know we gotta get
Hold on.
Boston. Today, nigga King Bricks, man. Trenches, man.
Oh yeah, new artist.
Boy, man.
Well, I ain't gonna say new artist, Boston artist. My fault.
Boston artist. That's the Mission Hell boys, you know what I'm saying? Debo gang.
Now what's the artist name on this one?
King Bricks.
King Brick?
King Bricks.
King Bricks. Okay.
I love Chris Rich.
Treacherous thinking, tunnel vision, I ain't blinking. Shit deep and I feel like I'm sinking. Most of my niggas ain't stuck in the cage and I'm trying to free like Lincoln.
Oh, you one of them dancing niggas.
So if we pull up to your residence,
I'm on my Dame Dash. That's all I do. I'm on my Dame Dash. All I do is Chris, nigga. Shout out to Boston artists. We always gonna shout out some Boston artists trying to make it. We gotta start supporting our own Boston homegrown.
Start supporting each other, man. Start cooking them likes on niggas' videos, man. Get people videos in the circulation, man. But he been he's down Atlanta with a good nigga 102. But y'all know what it is, man. Get familiar with him. That's King Bricks, Treacherous. Go show some love on YouTube.
And since we on Boston artists, I don't think we jumped off right into one, specifically a OG in the game, Zeno. Zeno had his little. When was that interview? A couple of weeks ago? Well, at least it was done with Queen's Flip. Thought it was a decent video, man. I thought Zeno was talking his shit, putting it down, man. Like, and then they always get into, well, first I'm gonna go with that source shit. Like, I think they was really trying to push like Benzino, like bogarted his way into the source. Like they wasn't really putting in work or didn't deserve that opportunity. Like anybody else that's out there putting in work, you've been grinding 2-3 years, you got videos, you got songs out. It was like a featured, piece on hustling, grinding artists or what have you. So that was the piece they did. But it seemed like Queen's Flip was like trying to push like, yo, he only got that because of his connection with Dave. Like, oh yeah, you was part owner or whatever, so that's how you got in there. It's like, yo, hold up, man. Like, and I think Zeno did his justice. Like, nah, man. Like, yo,
I think dog be telling niggas, explaining niggas more like him and Dave Mays had a relationship and what the relationship surrounded of. You know what I'm saying? I do be feeling sometimes that he could go harder with letting niggas know he put in the work, you know what I'm saying, from the beginning with that whole source situation. A lot of people do just see him as a street dude that like demoed his way into the source shit, you know what I'm saying? But even if so, niggas know that's Boston, man. That's how Boston niggas rock.
I was about to say, like,
you know what I'm saying? He take shit, man.
He ain't do nothing wrong. I mean, like, in all honesty, like, I mean, he was out there grinding, we was knocking the shit in the
He's
bean.
a good representative of Boston too, man, I must say, man. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people had a different shit, but he is a good representative. He did a lot for the city, brought a lot of shit to the city.
I'm gonna say anybody from the bean making it, yo, I want to support that. Let's keep pushing that grind. Let's make sure it continues to happen. yo, it'd be so much hate in the world, so much hate with all these other artists and all these other people. And listen, when it's the Bean, we gotta just stand strong. We're gonna do it. We're gonna be able to make it more with numbers. You know what I mean? When we come together, when we support each other. I know cats were like, oh yeah, he from over there, or like, yeah, he messed with my baby mom, or whatever, all that shit. Listen, yo, hitting them like buttons, subscribing, things like that. It's a different way now. You ain't got to hold hands with niggas and take pictures, man, and all that bullshit. Like, nowadays, you can support a cat hitting the like button, subscribing to his video, his YouTube page. And by the way, subscribe to our joint while y'all looking at it. But yeah, for sure, man, it's different ways, man. But definitely, if they see artists and people that's starting to really make a buzz in their own city, that's when they're gonna start reaching out. Let's do it, man. Stop with that hate, man.
That's a definite. But on another note, I do like how Flip did bring up the whole him and M shit. You know what I'm saying? Because that was major. That was a lot of shit people tried to look over and tried to make it out once again. It was just some Boston niggas being on some bullshit instead of what the issue really was. You know, a white boy really saying nigga and a bunch of dumb shit before he started rapping, and motherfuckers looking over it because it was Eminem and feeling like if it was anybody else, it would have been a different situation. But I think people looked over because it was M. What you think?
Dre, I'm about to say Eminem and Dre. See what that Dre co-sign. I mean, no disrespect. M was a beast. All right, M's a beast. MC. M's nice. All right, so I think on top of that, like, so one thing is he's a spitter, so that's gonna keep him there. Like, definitely messing with Dre help keep him there. What have you? Having that backing, messing with 50 Cent and the whole G Unit. All of that played a part in keeping him around. Like, you know, this whole cancel culture, man, like if you didn't have the right backing or even the right skill set, I mean, it's too easy to cut a cat off, man. Like, yo, you beefing with this dude and he come out with a whack ass diss track or something like that, out of here, you're done. So I think his skill set, his backing with G Unit and then with Dre helped keep him around. But I don't think Benzino was lying at all, man. Like, I mean, as nice as Eminem was, cats really, I mean, maybe a few songs. Like, I'm talking about, like, you jump in your whip, you got your speakers, your surrounds joint in there, like your tweeters, your kickers, and you got some joint that you put in there, and you want to ride around Beantown, up Dudley Street, Blue Hill Ave or something. I mean, cats weren't really, I mean, I don't think you can really name an Eminem joint that, you know, we could always go back to. Like, oh yeah, I know cats. For instance, like 50 Cent in the club. Like, all right, you knocking that. Reasonable Doubt, Jay-Z, like, you know, different tracks by different artists or whatever. I can't really think of a banging track that I'm like, oh yeah, I remember, you know, mid 2000s or something like that, early 2000s. This Eminem track was banging. Like, there was something you could listen to in the crib, you know, getting on or what have you. Like lyrics, like, yo, he spitting that shit. Or, you know, you with the fellas or something like that, but I'm talking about that beat knock, sitting on your block and the cars playing music or the speakers outside. I mean, if Eminem track came on, you know, M had hits, so you might knock it like that, but
nah, niggas wasn't fucking with no M, not on no all the way through.
Right.
He probably had M more than anything was on, you know, Renegade, the shit with him and Jay. That was like a big song for black dudes. Oh yeah, when they did all them still, I'm talking about like official songs though. That was like his most craziest joint. And then he like Lil Wayne. I mean, he didn't do too much that was like crazy.
I mean, and but so I don't hold on. What you mean by crazy? I mean, like, I think that he had banging hits. He had bangers, but I'm just saying I was putting it in the vibe of like in the club. You ain't never heard like an Eminem track. You go to the club and everybody in there having a good time, and you know songs come on, you rush the dance floor, everybody gigging, doing they want to. Eminem had one of them.
He needed to apologize to niggas for that shit he said, and he never did a public apology. A lot of people said, you know, different songs he did, but you can't apologize in no song. You know what I'm saying? But I also think 2 different times, different measures. You know what I'm saying? Because I think if that shit would have been right now, I think them guys would have been canceled. I don't think it was shit nobody could have done right now. You know what I'm saying? But in those times, there was no internet. There was a lot of shit there wasn't. It was just really word of mouth and who you fucked with more. You know, who had the most. And at that time, you seen Eminem more than you seen Benzino. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course. Like, As far as
you know what I'm saying? More people seen
he
him,
was everywhere, selling out shows, videos, all of that. Like,
but Benzino went deep on that shit too, the way he even went into like them, the music industry wanting a white boy to be able to take over the shit. You know, they really wanted somebody white to come in and stand for hip hop, you know, because until then they never really had one.
oh, I mean, they had Beastie Boys. I mean, Beastie Boys was rocking back then, early on, Run DMC and all of those. So we can't really say the whites wasn't around. And we ain't gonna talk about Vanilla Ice's clown ass type shit. But
I'm talking about also a big white.
Well, Beastie Boys did too. I mean, you gotta remember Beastie. I mean, well, it's probably you was probably in your diapers back then.
People fucked with Beastie Boys.
Yeah. Beastie Boys was the shit.
Boys wasn't like an M to where you say you only fuck with M on certain shit. Beastie Boys, you fucked with the Beastie Boys, just them dolo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You would hear a track for them, not only with just Run DMC or whatever have you.
Yeah. But I mean, I still don't think that he'll be canceled right now. But also, I look at some of the shit like, if it's really in his heart, like if he was really Rest in Peace Proof and all of those, if he really is Boys or was Boys, like, you know, with D12 or whatever, Proof and those guys, if he really grew up with that black soul, whatever, something like a Justin Bieber, that dude be making, we gotta talk about him one day, cause that yummy, yum, that track came on early. I'm like, yo, this boy Justin's a bad motherfucker. But back on track, hold on, but but I was gonna say back on track. We can get into Justin another, but dog, that's okay. Well, anyway, yeah, I'm saying like it's funny how if you listen to half his shit the last few years, it seemed like he targeting the black audience and targeting like the BLM. Like if you even watch what he did on the BET thing, like how he was talking about Trump could suck a dick. Like a lot of